Welcome to another exciting episode of The Nest, where we discuss everything babies. On today's show, we will be discussing challenges with infant formula feeding. For all moms, it is highly recommended for breastfeeding, and at that, exclusive breastfeeding. However, many challenges come up that may cause us to actually opt for infant formula. There are very many reasons that are fair that lead us to use the option B that is not often recommended. Today we are joined by a mom who will be sharing her journey on infant formula feeding after experiencing a few breastfeeding challenges. We encourage you to continue sending us comments and feedback as we go on with our discussion. Terry, you're welcome to our show. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me on the show. My name is Terry Mbari. I am a wife, a mother of a 9.5 months old baby girl, and I'm a baker as well.
Where's the cake?
Next time
you'll bring us
cake.
Be sure
to host me again.
Okay. Is it a deal? Because I look for you for cake.
It is a deal.
Okay. Quickly to our topic today. On infant formula, everyone says that mothers need to breastfeed exclusively for up to 2 years. You were just mentioning to me earlier that you actually had to go into infant formula feeding early. Maybe you can share with us, why did you have to go for infant formula?
I actually thought that I would exclusively breastfeed for at least 6 months, but at around 4 months, during our usual clinics, the doctor noticed that my child's weight gain was not as good, so she recommended that we switch to, not really switch, but we practice mixed feeding, where we supplement with formula. And that is how we started on the formula.
Okay. For the moms at home, I know you also have a story and you also have experiences regarding infant formula feeding. Please send through your comments as we go on with the discussion. You'll join us after this short break as we hear Terry's story. Don't go away. Welcome back. On today's show, on The Nest, we are discussing challenges with infant formula feeding. At home, remember, we are still waiting to receive your photos and funny videos. Also, remember to check out our Facebook page on Covenant Television Network to watch us live, and as well to give us feedback on anything you want us to do or change, or topics you want us to cover. On today's topic, we have with us Terry, who's sharing with us her journey on infant formula feeding, where her baby's weight actually dictated that they would have to start complementary feeding. So back to you, Terry. Maybe you can share with us your journey. How did it begin? Because for many moms, you are actually just breastfeeding and things are okay and the graph is fine. And actually, when you get your baby having a low graph, you'll have maybe midwives coming in to help you have more milk. So maybe you can share with us your journey from the beginning until now, the 5 months where you had to change to infant formula, and how the baby actually took it up from there.
Well, at first I thought I had enough milk, but at around 3 months, I noticed that my milk supply was low, and how I noticed was my baby wasn't getting full. She would stay on the breast for so long, and even if I tried to just let her go, she wouldn't, and she would fuss about it. So I tried porridge, soup.
This is at how many months?
This was at 3 months.
3 months porridge and soup.
The porridge and soup started way before.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Because
I thought the porridge and soup would help increase the milk supply.
So for you, at first me. I thought you're saying you're doing this for the baby.
No. This is for me. I even tried lactation cookies, and at some point I thought they would help, but my milk supply still didn't increase.
Fenugreek, dill
seeds. I went to Healthy You, bought all those fenugreek, dill seeds. I'd make those concoctions at home, but still that didn't help much. But at that time I didn't think it was a problem.
Okay.
Up until when we went to the doctor for our usual clinics, that she noticed that her weight gain was really low.
Okay.
In a span of 1 month, she had gained about 200 grams.
Wow.
So, and she was in the lower 5th percentile in the graph. So the doctor recommended that we start on infant formula.
Okay, sorry to cut you short, but how many kilos was she when she was born?
She was born. She was 3.71 kgs.
Wow, so she was already above average in terms of the
and at that time, at 5 months, she was around 5.8 kgs.
Okay, very slow progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's when we started supplementing with formula. So the doctor recommended a brand that we'd use.
Okay.
We'd start with.
Yes.
And then she gave me some instructions on how to supplement.
All right.
Because you see, she wasn't going to go on formula straight away.
Okay.
I would first breastfeed her, and then after, that's when I'd give her
some small portion of infant formula.
So she actually did some math and decided, okay, we'll start with 90 ml.
Okay.
After 2 weeks or after a month, we'll track the progress and see whether we'll increase or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about the baby's progress. First of all, even before the baby's progress in weight, the baby's acceptance.
I was surprised. She fully accepted it from day one.
Okay.
Because I remember that day I left the clinic. I just went straight to the supermarket because I was so worried. I wondered, okay, what am I doing wrong? What have I been doing wrong?
Every mother does that. Yeah.
Have I been underfeeding my child? So I was really glad that she accepted it. She had no reactions to it, which is something I really thank God for. Yeah.
And now the bottle. You used the bottle with the nipple. Did anyone advise you about the sizes? How did you go about the choosing of a bottle?
Well, I had some bottles at home because I used to express some milk so that the nanny or my husband would give her. So at least I had bottles at home. And she accepted them from the word go. So I never tried to change bottles. And I just went with the flow.
Okay, that makes me curious about the breast milk, because then if she really enjoyed the infant formula, did she then start reducing the breastfeeding durations? Did she start probably preferring, because some babies taste infant formula and I hear it is sweeter, so they actually just reject the breast milk?
At first, for like 2 weeks, she was okay. She would feed from the breast and then formula later. But I think at some point she noticed there's a difference. And I would try to breastfeed her and she wouldn't breastfeed. She would cry and fuss about it. And immediately I'd give her the bottle and she would gulp it so fast. So, and that's when I knew she's not fussing because she's not hungry. She's fussing because she's hungry, but she does not want to feed from the breast.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay, then I think then we move on to the keeping hygiene, where these bottles need to be cleaned and all that. How did you know how to do it? What options or what methods did you use?
Google was my friend that time. So I just, and baby center, where I got to learn that there are some sterilizing tablets. I'd also boil the bottles. And I also had to teach the nanny how to keep the bottles clean, how to wash them. Not only the nanny, my husband as well, because there are times I would leave my baby at home on a Sunday and the nanny is not home, so my husband would do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So were you boiling them, or did you mentioned the tablets and you also mentioned boiling?
I think I preferred the boiling method because it's cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you're not buying the tablet.
Yeah,
it was cheaper and I think that's why I preferred them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. That's a good tip for a mom at home. Then probably I would go back to the weight gain. I was wondering, then you started the infant formula complementing, or what do you call complementary feeding. How did the graph change? You went for the that was the 4th month, right?
That was the 4th month.
Uh-huh.
In a span of 1 month, as I mentioned, there's for 2 weeks she continued breastfeeding,
yes,
as well as bottle feeding,
yes,
and she had no problem at all.
Yes.
But I think after 2 weeks, she started refusing the breast.
Yes.
So I had to call my doctor and just ask for advice. So
yes.
What do I do?
Yes.
Because now she's not getting enough milk, and also at that time I tried pumping, and you see the reduced time on the breast also reduced
yes.
my milk
yes.
supply.
Yes.
So she advised me to increase the amount of formula that I'm giving,
okay.
but still breastfeed. She really insisted on continuing breastfeeding. So I increased the amount of formula that I was giving her. So when we went for the checkup after
yes.
1 month,
yes.
she had gained about 800 grams, which was such a big gain.
Yes. Compared to the previous 200 grams.
Yes.
Yes.
I was really happy, and I thought, okay, in as much as I wanted to exclusively breastfeed for 6 months,
yeah,
and that didn't happen,
yeah,
she is still growing. Formula was still was an option, and it worked. Yeah.
Tell me about her milestones. Did you see any? Because again, there's a lot of even victimization on moms, and even before I go to the victimization, because everyone is like, wewe nyonyesha mtoto. By the way, did you experience that?
Yes, I did.
Because
I'd get people saying, you need to breastfeed for 2 years. Why aren't you breastfeeding her? We'd go for a function and I'd remove the bottle, and some moms would ask, older moms would ask, why are you giving the baby milk from the bottle? You can't really explain to everyone why.
I know.
Yeah. It was, but at some point I accepted it.
How did you deal with it? You just smile when someone asks you.
I just smile
and move on.
Yes. Because you don't want to be rude as well.
Yeah.
But you know your child best. Yeah.
So for the milestones of the baby was perfect.
The baby was
infant
perfect.
formula.
She was hitting her milestones so well.
Constipation, maybe?
I did not experience that.
Oh, good.
At all.
Okay.
Her stool was okay. I must say the brand that we got from the word Go,
yes,
and that's the same brand that I'm still using till now.
Okay.
She hasn't been affected, and that's a plus.
Water. Did you start including water immediately you brought in the formula?
Yes.
Okay.
But just a little bit of water,
yes,
about 10 ml. But you see, at that time I had not started feeding, so the water was just a little. Yeah.
Then I think my last question would be, what are the biggest challenges that you'd cite with infant formula feeding?
The cost.
I know.
Formula is quite expensive.
Yeah.
And we'd use 1 tin in a week.
Okay.
That's 1 tin for every 6 days.
It's like 1,000 bob.
Yes.
But yours is then a poor feeder. There are people who actually have 1 tin for 3 days.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
At that time I was supplementing.
Okay.
So that's why we would use 1 tin.
Yeah.
But at some point, she completely refused breastfeeding. So we switched to formula. I switched to formula immediately.
Yeah.
So now she's on formula alone. And now we use she started feeding.
Yes.
So right now we use 1.5 tins a week. But the cost, quite expensive.
God provides.
Oh,
God
yes.
provides.
He does. So we had to readjust our budget.
Yeah.
But we've seen God's faithfulness all through.
Amen.
And we thank God.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think we're ready for the expert to probably hear what are the benefits and even other ways to just deal with the fact that infant formula is something we thank God is there as a plan B. So for the moms at home, we are still waiting to see your comments and feedback. We are going to be joined by the expert to help us tackle challenges regarding infant formula feeding. Please keep your comments coming through. Don't go away, we'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to the Nest where we discuss everything babies. On today's episode, we're discussing challenges with infant formula feeding. We had a mom who was sharing with us her journey. Luckily, we are blessed to have the expert to help us with all the possible information on transitioning or basically embracing what we cannot really avoid where breastfeeding is a challenge. Welcome, Esther.
Thank you so much.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Esther Kimani. I am a childcare expert, a lactation specialist, and a doula, so I'm happy to be here.
You're very welcome.
Yes.
Now, tell us, Esther, maybe to start with, at what point should a mom be encouraged to go for infant formula feeding?
So like her case was a good one, where the baby is breastfeeding, but there's no actual weight gain. The baby is struggling in terms of weight gain. So we encourage moms, of course, to exclusively breastfeed and to look for help so that they can actually achieve that. But your healthcare provider would be the best person to advise you at a point where they see this baby's growth is affected and the baby is not thriving, because thriving is the word. They might be growing but they're not thriving. So that is the point where the doctor would advise you, or your healthcare provider, wherever you go, would advise you. So don't just wake up and go, because there are always the benefits to exclusive breastfeeding. So as much as possible, that's what we strive for. But again, infant formula is modified animal milk that is specific for this growing baby.
Yes.
So it is better, much better than food or even milk straight from the cow. So it's a very good option when a baby is not able to continue breastfeeding or the breast milk is not enough. Yes.
Maybe you can help us demystify the issue of reduced breast milk, because her story was very genuine. She did everything she could do, and very many moms are victimized because of not having enough, breast milk. Is there anything like not having enough breast milk?
More and more again, the first few weeks after delivery, right from when you deliver your baby to around the first month, there's a lot that happens during that time to establish your milk supply. So usually at that time, if something goes haywire, you might not be able to have sustained milk for the long time. So stuff like now introducing formula the first week, for example, when the baby is still trying to stimulate milk, what will happen is, because it's I keep saying over and over again, and I think I've said here before, it's baby on the breast is what stimulates milk. So if you give your baby another supplementary feed, then the baby gets full and they don't breastfeed, then
and therefore there's no demand.
And so your brain that time, because the hormones are very that's when they're active immediately after birth. So sometimes it's very hard to sustain milk. Sometimes also when you get back to your you go back to work, because again the baby is not there to keep breastfeeding, the milk supply will go down. But I think for her case, when I was listening to her, I felt we have some lazy babies. So some babies are lazy, so when they're on the breast, yes, they'll feed, and as long as they don't feel hungry, they don't get really satisfied. And so they tend to, we actually call them grazers. Like, the way a cow grazes the whole day. And so those babies need extra effort. To maybe it's unfortunate that maybe she didn't catch it early, so that now it started affecting the baby's growth. So usually if your baby feeds for very short periods of time, you need to start, you can express and now top up the milk with the baby with expressed milk, just so that the baby is able to get more. You can feed your baby much more often instead of waiting for when the baby is hungry. You're proactive. Every hour you get the baby on the breast, so that even though they're taking a short time, because they're feeding very many times, they're able to get the amount of milk that they require. So I think her baby fell more on that side, and now it started affecting the baby, and then we don't want that staying that status quo, so we need the baby to catch up. So there are different reasons why the milk will not, and that would also explain why her milk was not enough, because if her baby was lazy, then they're not stimulating the milk the way it should.
And you know what is on my mind right now? I remember, I think last time when you were telling us something about foremilk and hind milk, when you're talking about the foremilk being watery and the hind milk being nutritious, and this baby is more disadvantaged because they're just taking the foremilk.
Yeah, so the milk that actually helps the weight gain, the rich hind milk, she's not able to get there. That's why I'm like, for those babies, expressing some time so that they get the full range of milk, and then now you give them a top up.
Yes.
So that is usually a good option.
Okay. Have you, I think that is something you would have borrowed.
Yes. And I think once I introduced the bottle, she found it easier to drink milk from the bottle, because the letdown is fast. You don't have to pull it.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like, they tend to be lazy babies. They're just lazy feeders. So they don't want to work too hard. So that's the thing. Every baby is unique. You just work with your baby.
Talking about infant formula now, Terry was sharing that one of the biggest challenges is cost, and we all know that they say that the best after breast milk is infant formula. Is there any other option a mom out there can have? Because I've actually seen instances where our mother's generation would advise you to give maybe a spoonful of something to the baby to help fill up the little stomach.
Now, your baby's system is simply not ready to digest solids before they're 6 months. So it means when you're giving them, you're actually causing damage to the gut. This will affect them later in life, because they don't have enzymes. It's literally enzymes to digest that food. So what would happen to these babies? Actually, I was reading a message a few minutes ago, and the mom was saying she gave her baby porridge, and it came out the other way, like porridge. So all it did was pass through the gut, but offer no nutrition value, and it means that as it's going, it's damaging what? The gut. So it's making the gut irritated because of that. So that baby will have issues. So milk is what your baby can digest, and so infant formula is an option. And for moms who really can, you do need to talk to your healthcare provider to show you how to modify animal milk so that your baby can take it safely.
So it's modifiable.
It's modifiable. Infant formula is modified. So you have, but that's why I'm saying I cannot say it here, because you need to go and sit down with your healthcare provider to explain to you how to do it, so that you do it safely for the baby.
So first priority is breast milk. Breast milk at all costs.
Then if you really can, you know, the way she's saying, squeeze yourself. You really can. Infant formula is the next if you don't have enough breast milk. And then now there's modified. That's what I'm saying, you have to modify. But you need to be advised on how to do it.
Okay. I think that's clear. Actually, this is the first time I'm hearing of modified, but it's a good thing that every mom must go to an expert to be advised what is suitable for their child. And not even to be advised by a relative.
Because I see people giving different formulations that are not safe for the baby. So that's why we don't like giving it publicly. We like the way she went to her doctor advised even on the brand, what to do, and you see her baby thrived. So when you do things by yourself, you end up messing up, and now you're dealing with a baby with an issue because you decided to listen to the mama next door. So please see your doctor, and they will advise you accordingly.
Tell us about constipation, and there's a lot of talk about constipation and infant formula food, because breast milk is extremely balanced. How do we manage that?
I mean, it's animal milk, so the baby's gut again has to deal with this new heavier milk that they were not used to before. And so if your baby if you've been asked to give a formula and your baby starts getting constipated, then it might mean that that's not a good fit for your baby. They're different brands. So go back to your doctor and they'll recommend maybe another one. The second reason why you can be constipated is because you're not following the instructions on mixing the milk. So maybe you want to use either less milk so that you save on the milk. And all those things, it's very tempting. So if you don't follow that formulation, your baby is likely to constipate.
So if you put less, it would still probably
because now you're
cause-
not giving the baby enough energy to digest this thing that's
Uh-huh.
going out. So the
Okay.
formulation, or if you make it too heavy, then it doesn't have enough fluid intake for the
Yes.
baby. So it's a catch-22.
Yes.
So you need to follow the
Instructions.
that are there,
Yeah.
so that your baby can actually thrive and not have constipation. Yes.
Tell us about hygiene. I think hygiene is a big challenge because
Yes.
here for breastfeeding it's just making sure
Yeah.
the nipple is
Babies,
clean.
yeah.
Now the bottle,
So you do need to sanitize, as she was saying, like either by boiling,
Alright.
or there are machines that actually do that job, or there are tablets. So whichever form of sanitizing the equipment that you have, it's very important to do it, and do it keenly, so that you make sure that you're not passing on any germs to your baby. Even the way you store the milk, if you mix it, usually you want to make sure that the baby finishes, and you're not keeping it out, because then there's a risk of it going bad and the baby getting food poisoning. As a start, we always encourage you to use maybe things that are very easy. You see, like this is a cup. You can actually cup feed your baby. And you see, I cannot, even if it's dirty, I can actually see, So making sure that you're able to look at the equipment you're using. If it's bottles, you're making sure that they're actually clean and they're sanitized, and that the baby is using a fresh bottle every time that they are feeding. Yes.
From your experience, would you say anything about the tablets? Because some people feel like the tablet is a little chemical that I'm now adding to, and therefore even just inclined to boiling. What's your take?
I mean, they are safe to use. They're used world over, even in the medical world, for sanitizing equipment. So these are used basically world over. So they are safe. But again, it goes back to preference, maybe your pocket, whatever it is. So boiling is also good, but with boiling, you have to maybe change your bottles more often, because they degrade. If you're using cheap bottles,
so when you boil them often, because this is plastic again.
Yes, exactly.
So
and then if you buy cheap bottles, that plastic will actually end up, the fact that you've taken it through a lot of heat, it can leach into the milk. So if you're boiling, then spend a bit more money to buy quality bottles that are written BPA free.
BPA free.
BPA free, meaning that the plastic does not leach out of the bottle. So those are the factors that you look at.
So you're saying that every quality bottle will have written on it BPA free.
Yes.
So that's the measure I should check if I want to boil,
especially for babies. Yes.
Okay, that's very important information. BPA free, because if you then use cheap plastic, then that's another situation altogether.
It means that you see every time. So when you put the milk, that the plastic will leach into the milk.
Makes a lot of sense, and we don't even know what it can lead to in terms of
in the future for your baby.
Now the other thing I wanted to probably bring on the table is the issue of the sustaining temperature. Is there any risk? Because sometimes we put the measure, and then the measure of whatever milk we want to serve the baby, and then it is left.
So
how do you sustain?
If you're gonna feed the baby within a short time, so sometimes the baby's feeding, and in like 10 or so minutes, the baby's, that's fine.
Yes.
But if the milk is staying
longer,
you just discard. So you need to find out how much your baby is taking in one sitting, so that you don't overmix. You want to try and mix milk that your baby will finish in one sitting. Yes. That is the safety. Otherwise, you will deal with diarrhea and vomiting and all these other issues with the baby. Yes.
Let's talk about rejection of the bottle. For example, my baby actually totally refused to use the bottle for whatever reason, for water, whatever. What are the options that mommies have?
So I have a few options here. So this is a cup.
All right.
And babies can use a cup from the day they are born. You just need, again, we go back to, in fact, I tell every mother who's just had a baby, if you're a mother and you've just had a baby, before you leave hospital, ask the nurse to show you how to cup feed. Because cup feeding is easy for the baby to do. They are able to feed comfortably. It does not lead to nipple confusion. Like now her lazy baby, if she had introduced the bottle day 2, that baby would have refused breastfeeding that time. So they wouldn't not not have had even the benefit of breastfeeding. So this is actually the most preferred way to feed infants.
Okay.
A cup.
Yes.
It does not. It's easy to clean. See, you can see very nicely.
Yes.
It's easy to clean. The baby is able to drink. The baby actually is able to regulate themselves and know how much to take.
Like an adult, like this.
No. They take like
I will use a spoon.
No. You'll just put this against the baby's mouth, and then you just tilt it.
All right.
And then the baby is able to
suck it or pull it out.
To pull it out. One day we'll show with a real baby, maybe. Yeah. But ask your midwife or your nurse to show you even before you leave hospital. You can also use a syringe for moms who are afraid of that. Yeah.
All right.
So you just pick up the milk. So a syringe without the needle.
Yes.
Yeah. So you just take some milk if you have, and then see, it's very easy. You put on the side of the baby's mouth and you slowly
push it in. How do you regulate the speed?
You just push slowly.
So the
baby will
show you
swallowing. So you follow.
Yes.
Yeah. We have special like bottles. This is like a bottle, but instead of the teat, this is a spoon. It has a little hole. I don't know if the camera can see. It has a little hole.
Yeah, the camera needs to check on that.
Yeah. So you just tilt, as you can see, and the milk comes to the little spoon there.
Yeah.
And then the baby is able to take.
Yeah.
So there are options if your baby is refusing a bottle.
Okay.
Yes.
And where do we get these things? Because
they're actually available in our market. They're available as syringe. You can buy in any chemist.
Yeah.
For a baby, you can even buy a big one. This is for a very small baby, a newborn. But for a big baby, call it like the one for a cow, the 20 ml syringe, the big one, and use that. Yeah. So there are options to be able to feed your baby if your baby does not want to use the bottle.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. In regards to switching, if a mom probably comes across one brand and the doctor said use this brand, and then you go and find that there's another brand and it's cheaper or it's more cost effective.
Right. I mean, most of the infant formulas around are certified for babies. So you can try it. If your baby thrives on it, I mean, it's fine. Yeah. If your baby doesn't,
But I think, as you said before, the best thing to do is always check with
your doctor.
Yes. In case anything happens to
because
the baby.
Sometimes some people go and buy special milks, for example.
Okay.
So special milks are for babies. Maybe your baby has an allergy, for example. So you don't need to give, because the fact that it's a special milk, something has been removed for it. So a baby might not thrive. If you have a baby with no allergy, there's no reason why they should be taking the special milk. And for a baby who's taking special milk, they should be followed by their doctor, especially if they're not breastfeeding, because there's some aspects of that milk that are missing. So the baby the doctor might need to add some supplements so that the baby gets the full range. So please don't I see people deciding for themselves. If especially for special milks, you actually, in other countries, I think here maybe we are a bit lenient. In other countries, they are only given by prescription. So you need to see your doctor so that your doctor advises you accordingly, so that you're not feeding your baby and your baby is getting deficiencies because they're not getting the full range of the nutrients that they need, especially if the baby is not breastfeeding.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if Terry, you have any question on top of your mind regarding infant formula
I had a question. How often do you need to sterilize the bottles?
After the baby uses.
Every time.
Yes. Once the baby has finished, clean it up with warm soapy water and then sterilize them.
Okay. I think I want to ask another very, is it a question that a mom at home would have, especially now that you talked about the cost. When do we introduce cow milk? As in, how early is it safe for me to just switch to cow milk?
So research shows from around 1 year.
1 year.
And if very, very early, around 10 months.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But simply because cow milk, the way it is, the way we take it, it's meant for a calf. A calf is, how many kilos is a calf? Maybe 20, 30 kilos, you know? And so it is meant for that calf. So that milk might be too much for a baby's immature system. So they overload the kidneys. So the baby's kidneys have to work so hard to digest, and that's why we have to modify it. But one of the things that the things that really affect babies is that they interfere with absorption of iron. So it's been linked to anemia, early onset anemia in babies when they take cow milk. Especially direct, the way we just take it and give the baby. So if you really, that's why we are like, if you can, you would rather work a lot and figure out how breastfeeding, so that you can continue breastfeeding your baby until 1 year and then transition them on. Because by that time now their system is older, they're able to handle the cow milk.
Cow milk, goat milk, camel milk.
All of them.
All of them. None is better than the other.
They're all animal milk.
Okay.
Terry, the cow milk, is it the one direct from the cow or packet milk?
So the one direct, we usually afraid for that because of if it's not tested, it could have diseases. It can carry parasites. It can carry. There was a time, I think, in a part of the country there was an outbreak of a disease because coming from the milk that was being offered to the children. So the thing is, for children, we prefer for you to buy the pasteurized milk because then you know that all these things have been sorted. Again, with the one from the cow, sometimes you don't even know the source. You're going to just a shop and buying. So there's a lot of contamination, things that have been added. So it might not be very safe for your baby. So get the pasteurized one. That's the safe way to go. Especially for the toddlers as you start.
Pasteurized milk it is. So for the mom at home, you have all the information you need regarding infant formula feeding. Remember, we are still expecting your baby photos and any birthday messages and funny videos that you may want us to be showing towards the end of the show. We'll be right back with a section of Ask the Doula. So keep your questions coming. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to our final segment on the nest, where we discuss everything babies. We are now looking at Ask the Doula with the questions that you have been sending through from home or wherever you are. So I'll just start with my first question coming from Omboi from Nyeri, and she says that cow milk is only safe after 1 year, as the doula advises. Is it safe then to give yogurt, and at what age should we do flavored or plain yogurt?
Okay, so yogurt you can actually give from 6 months. The reason being, how do we make yogurt? There is some bacteria that pre-digests the milk. So because of that bacteria, that good bacteria, it has made the milk easier for the baby system. The protein is reduced, the sugars are reduced, so the baby is able to handle that.
Nice.
So yes, yogurt from 6 months.
Good.
Just natural. We always go natural. We always say delay sugar for as long as you can. If your baby likes something sweet, you can sweeten it yourself. You can mash a banana in with the yogurt. Or you can grate an apple. Or some carrots and just mix it in. And the baby, voila, it will be sweetened in a way that you can. You're not giving sugary milk to your baby. Yes.
So how do people then give Weetabix if they can't give?
They should not give Weetabix. Maybe I shouldn't say the brand. They should only.
Inclined. It's
like, but there are some infant cereals. Maybe that's another totally different show. We should only give cereals that are specific to children. So some cereals are adult cereals. They should only be given to older children. There's some infant cereals, and most of them are eaten. So you should actually go with the cereals that are for infants. Some cereals are for older babies.
So you check on the pack with
but you can mix. I think your question was, how do you mix? So you can use formula. Mix the formula first and use it to add to baby's food. A breast milk as well, if you can express. Or if it's even yogurt, you can for example, you can give ugali and yogurt, or ugali and mala. Mala is fermented milk. That again is still fine because it's pre-digested. So you can give ugali with some mala. And babies love that meal.
Nice one. Okay, then I move on to the next question. This one is colic is often related to gassy babies, but other studies indicate that this is not the only cause. What's your say in this? This is coming from Veronica Wanjagi from Imara Daima.
That's very true. Gas is just one of the causes that some babies cry. Some babies will cry because they just have an immature nervous system. So it's almost like they needed more time in the womb to get ready. So they're born and their nervous system is immature. And so for those you just have to find ways to help the baby cope with that, with the crying, and then they will outgrow it.
Yes.
Sometimes it's overstimulation. So let's say, for example, your baby, there's lots of loud noises the entire day. The TV is on, there's lots of music. There are very, very many people around the house. The baby can get overstimulated, and then that can lead to colic. The other one is mommy's own emotional state. If mom is distressed or she's sad and she's having a difficult time, the baby tends to mirror the mother.
Oh dear.
So most babies that is why we find that many mothers who have postpartum depression or postpartum blues, their babies tend to be colicky.
Oh dear.
So the babies will cry because they're a mirror of what the mother is going through.
Oh no.
So that is another cause. So there are many causes, and usually I'm always like, you need to sit with the mother and we do elimination, figure out what's causing it. Sometimes if it's overstimulation, reduce the noises. Make sure the baby is resting within a short time. They cannot be awake for too long. And there are too many people holding the baby. Big families where there are 10 people holding the baby. Babies just want to be nurtured by one person. So sometimes that sorts out the issue. Yeah, so she's right.
Okay.
There are many different reasons why the baby may be colicky.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we have time for another question? Well, then let's just drive on the time. So I'll ask the last question. How often should I sanitize toys for my baby? They constantly fall to the floor shortly after sanitizing. This is Beth from Buruburu.
So I like when one particular brand that says a little dirt is good. So, if you're in your own, one of the things that's very interesting, and that's why we insist that mothers should breastfeed their baby. One of the things that is in breast milk is that your breast milk carries immunity for the germs found in your home.
Okay.
So like and one of the little tips you give mothers, like when you give birth, sometimes the way you go live somewhere else, your body doesn't have immunity for there, it has immunity for your home. So the germs in your home, your baby's kinda has immunity for them.
Wow.
So as long as you keep your home clean, like the floor, and when people come in, maybe avoid people walking in with shoes, so that it's nice and clean. You can sanitize them once and then let the baby play, let them fall, because that's part of it. Even that exposure to a little dirt helps their gut to become stronger and they get more immunity. But of course, if now you're outside and they're falling to the ground, baby doesn't have immunity for those germs out there. So you need to maybe keep those aside and sanitize them before you give the baby again. But in your home, let your baby enjoy playing.
Cool. We'd like to thank you all who are keeping your questions coming. It's been amazing having you. It's always a pleasure. I hope you learn as much as I do. I think I'd like to thank you, Esther.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Terry.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
And to the mom back home, thank you so much for keeping us company. To the guys behind the camera, thank you for a good job. Thank you, Eastlands Hotel, for hosting us. And only on the nest, I'll see you next time. I am your host, Gladwell Kameni.